Welcome to this look at an updated mod map on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. This is Greenhills Estate. Now this mod map is by Gportal, 82.58 megabytes download. As of Friday, this map was updated. And I looked and thought, I don't remember this one. I went through to double check on my Farming Simulator 22 map tours to see if I'd done a map tour on it, and I hadn't. Now, it could be that one of the times I was away on holiday this was released and I missed it. It could be that part of the update is released to console. I've read through the changelog and I can't find anything that says that. So that being said, I'm doing the map tour anyway. So either I missed it or it is new to console. Either way, this is the map tour. This is a nice map. I like this. There's no traffic, there's no pedestrians, there's no collectibles. There's no required mods to download, which is quite straightforward. Did I say it was 82.58 megabytes download? Probably. The changelog, it does say if you're already playing on this, it will require a new save game. If you are going to do the update on this, it will require a new save game. Because part of it is adding in some new products, which we're going to have a look at. Because for me, they're not new. We're looking at this for the first time. All the fences, gates, hedgerows within the map can be removed using the build mode, which I'll show you in a moment as well. So, it's all really nice. We might as well talk about slot count here, because we don't actually start with a farm, per se. On New Farmer, it's 794. On Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, it's 683. Difference being that the start machinery, which is here at the vehicle store at the start. On New Farmer, we start with the harvester, header and header trailer. We've got a plough, we've got a weight, we've got a Blade LK105, or is it 165? We've got our seeder, we've got a tractor and we've got a trailer. That's it. But on Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, we don't have any of that equipment or machinery. So, that's how we start out. The map then looks like this. On New Farmer, we start with this little plot here, which has got a barn on it. There's no silo, there's no farmhouse, there's nothing at all. We've got field 1, 2 and 3. Obviously, Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, you don't have those. Field prices, pretty good. Now, you'll probably also notice, if we come off of that, these fields have got crops in, and these are ours that we start with on New Farmer. The rest are all grass fields. Now, if you're not into your grass work, that's absolutely fine, because the premise behind this is the Greenhills estate is located in the heart of the English countryside and has been left as pasture land for many years. Now the land is being sold for farmland. The local landowner and neighbour have some fields, so contracts are available on some fields, but the rest is all pasture land, open grassland. So if cows is your thing, if silage work is your thing, awesome. If not, buy them up, plough them up, create fields, crack on. If you find plots where you want to put production chains down, absolutely great as well. There are some areas for placeables. So whether it be setting up a farm or whether it be you want to put some production chains in, that's up to you. There's no biogas plant on here, but there is a sawmill, which we're going to get to because that's got some extra products that we sort of haven't really encountered before. So as I said, field prices, if we go onto here, 75 grand, 195 grand, 225. I mean, even the biggest field, which as far as I can tell is 53, 54. What we're looking at, 386, 392, 377. So not too expensive at all, which is great. So as I said, we start over here at the vehicle store and workshop, which is just here, which is also the reset point on the map, and this is where our equipment and machinery is. There's one sort of main road-ish that goes out up to the sawmill and comes this way out to some other sell points over this side on the west. The rest of it is tracks and open land. Now, all of the hedges have collisions, but as I said, they can be removed, and there are little plots all over the place that can be purchased. So what I'm going to do, I know what I'm going to get. I've only put one mod in. Actually, while we're here, we'll talk about build mode. Under build mode, and under sheds, we've got a barn put in. If we then go to factories, under productions, out on the end there you've got the sawmill, which has got some extra products again, which we'll have a look at. Then we go to, there's nothing under sell points, greenhouses, orchards, generators, nothing under anything under on, let's go back the other way to there. There's nothing under silos, extensions, containers, tools, farmhouses, nothing. Nothing under animals. Under decoration, we have got under fences. We've got a load of fences, gates, hedges that can be added in if you wish. Nothing under lights or others. And if we come to landscaping, under painting, we've got some extra textures, some cobbles and various different ones. So quite a few different extra ones put in here under textures. And then we've got under trees, out on the very end here, we've got some small branches and large branches which can be placed for decoration. And under plants, we've got a few ferns. I like that. Stinging nettles and ferns. Makes it very English, you know. It's got that nice feel to it. So loads of bushes, hedges, things like that. Then we've got mushrooms as well that we can put in. So that's everything under build mode that's been put in. Bear with me a second. I'm just going to grab myself a vehicle. Of course, if we're in the heart of the English countryside, it's got to be a Land Rover, isn't it? Has to be done. So let's head off. English number plates are included, should you wish to have an English number plate. We swing around here. We come to the first of the sell points and a buy point. So we're at farmers markets. Over here we've got the farmers market sell point. We've then got farmers market products, so for your palleted type items. We've got fuel point over the back there. And then we've got farmers market store. The farmers market store is a buy point. If we come in here and we come to our prices, you can see everything where you can sell things, but then on the other bit, if we scroll down, we'll get to, I think seeds is one of the first ones. There we go. So seeds, we can buy seeds from here. Diesel, we know about. Road salt. Solid fertilizer, not liquid fertilizer. Manure, but there's a different point for that. Lime. So you sort of main, solid fertilizer, seed, road salt, that kind of stuff we can be got there. And then we got our farmers market bale sell point, which is just there. So what I'm also going to show you next, as we swing around, bearing in mind we've got some fences and hedges. If we just stop there and go back up, so we are currently sitting next to this field here, field 40, which we'll purchase like so. So if we go into build mode and we go to demolish, as I said, fences and hedges do have collisions, so once you've purchased the land you can remove the hedges. You can obviously, as you've seen, there are fences and hedges which you can put back in again, so you can put gaps in the hedges and put gateways in if you want to. This side I think we can remove the fences, so all of it across the map, fences and hedges can all be removed. So if you don't want them, you want it all open, you want a more open plan, you want to make fields much bigger, you can absolutely do that with no worries at all. So it's interesting because the other map tour I did today on Georgia Farm, which was a very flat map, and along similar lines, this is much more landscaped. This has got a much more what's the word I'm looking for, immersive feel to it. It feels like English countryside, it's got that, and you can imagine this open, this countryside, this estate land that's been owned by some lord or landed gentry for a long period of time, and like I say, it hasn't been farmed. There might have been animals on it, cattle on it, and it's just kind of been left. But the fact it's still very open for you to do whatever you want on here. It's not overly prescribed. There's not so much stuff on here that you haven't got a lot of options. You've kind of got to go with it. You can pick and choose what you do, which is great. I like that as an option on a map like this, which is brilliant. So as I said about placeable areas, we have got one. Let's get the map open. Just to the side here. So again, if you want your start farm or an area for productions or something like that, we've got this placeables point here. This one wasn't too expensive either, if I recall. Where are we on here? 35,000. You get 2 sheds on there as well, but you can remove if you want to, but they are on here. So placeables point. I think that's what it says in the instructions. Like, have you got what it takes to create fields, build production chains, complete contracts and become a profitable farmer? So we're heading up to the northeast of the map, heading into a forestry area and up to the sawmill. Like I said, the sawmill is a custom sawmill with some extra bits. I think this is something we've talked about, or I've talked about before, and we talked about at FarmCon, about the Silver Run Forest roller coaster building and the boat building. And Virtual Farmer had said about having a factory where you supply it with different things and you can build a tractor that comes out the other end, which you could then go on to use, you know. And we said about shed building, that kind of thing as well, providing everything required to build your own sheds on your farm, you know, silage clamps, whatever it might be. This is a similar sort of thing, because the products this makes, it would be cool to have production where you take these products and you make fence panels or fences which you could then go and build, so you can put your fences up. I know I've kind of given it away, but it really doesn't matter. There's a forklift up here that you own, which is up at the start. Actually, what we'll do as well, let's go into here and we'll go down to owned vehicles. You've seen it all already that's there, but the forklift truck which you own is actually up here at the sawmill. So if you're wondering where that is, the rest of the stuff we have seen all of it already. So the sawmill up here, it's not overly expensive either. 68,187, we buy that. So wood in, we can do wooden fence rails, wooden fence post square, wooden fence post round, and wooden gate posts. So I say, if you could produce all those things and then have a production on the side where all of those things get taken and it makes fence sections and gate sections, and then you could then go and, you know, put those out. I just think that's the next step I personally think the game needs to take, that you're producing things that you can actually use on the farm. Don't get me wrong, I love production chains, I think they're absolutely brilliant, but to keep it kind of farming related, all the sorts of things that farmers need and build and do over the course of the year, maybe during the winter when they're not doing their crop work, or, you know, there's always fence repair needs doing. You've got people buying and building new barns and space for vehicles and machinery and equipment, and I just think, yeah, that's just a personal opinion. Anyway, from here we can take a right and head across the map. Now I'll go back to the map and show you. We go back to here. So we're currently here. So when we drove up, there's a track that runs out and across that goes right the way across the middle. Then we've got this trackway which we're about to hit, and we're going to go out around the top and come down. Like I said, there's no sell points, there's no buy points, there's no farm. We don't have any animal pens on the map. It is so open for you to do what you want, where you want, when you want. It's interesting because I always found No Man's Land quite a daunting prospect. I know people have said, oh, you know, the things you do when you do your Let's Plays and your storylines, and it would be amazing on a map like that. I found it, I don't know, maybe too open. I know it's strange, just because this has got lanes and hedges, and I don't know what the difference is. This seems a bit more approachable, I think, as an idea, because you could start out doing grass work and stuff and then gradually build up from there. I just found No Man's Land a bit daunting. I don't know why. It's strange, isn't it? Anyway, so heading across the glorious English countryside. As you can see as we're driving around, none of the fields have, or none of these fields with hedges have gateways. They've got gaps in the hedges, so you could put gates in if you wanted to, or remove the hedges and put fencing in if you want to, or remove the hedges completely. That's entirely up to you. There are some bumps when I was doing a bit of a whiz round. That's why I chose this. I came around in the Mahindra when I was checking myself. You notice this, that's why I love this mod. The suspension travel on it is absolutely brilliant. I hit a couple of bumps and the Mahindra went all over the place. But this as well, this gives it a nice, realistic, immersive feel to it. You know, it's not all flat, but it's not ridiculously bumpy. It just has a real natural feel to it, which I like. Coming over the brow of the hill here, the land opens out. So we're now heading south, out towards the western side of the map. Now we have got some fields to the right coming up. I did buy these off camera just to double check, because I thought, I wondered whether they were animal pastures or not, because these were fenced in, whereas the others are all hedges with gaps. These do actually have fences and they do have gates. So I thought it would just be just my luck. I'll drive past, ignore it. They're not, they're just fenced in fields, which once purchased, you can remove the fences if you want to. They're not pastures, but you could put animal pens. We've got a lot of open animal pens and pastures which would be perfect for a map like this. Some that are absolutely huge, and we've got some very big fields which are fairly inexpensive. So yeah, I think it ticks a lot of boxes. If you like that build it your own sort of thing, this is nice. And the lanes are, when people say, you know, I don't like English maps because they're too tight, they're too enclosed, the lanes are too narrow, this will allow you to open it up, and it's not too narrow off the start. So you can still use fair sized machinery off the start without it being too tight, too confined and a little bit kind of claustrophobic, I think. So we are coming into the, which one was this? Animal dealer. Animal dealer, just there. Animal dealer sell point for bales is just there. We've got a water point just here, and then because this is technically the animal dealer livestock market, we have got a slurry and manure point. Now the slurry and manure point is for selling and buying, so we can sell here plus buy here. So if you want to be doing your fertilising on your fields using slurry or manure and your animals haven't produced enough yet, you can come here to buy it. But if your animals, once you get them going, are producing more than you need, you can bring it here to sell if you want. So buy and sell points for slurry and manure here at the livestock market. From the livestock market, go down just a little bit further to the warehouse, which is the next sell point. And again, this one's split into 3. I could go across the grass, but I won't. So we have got warehouse products for your palletized goods, etc. We've got warehouse sell point for your more crop type goods, and then around the other side we have got warehouse sell point for bales, which is just there. Next door to that, as you probably just saw when we were around by the fencing, we have got another placeables point. So again, for productions, factories, whatever you want to do here, we have got another placeables point with trees to the south of that, which with various different mods available can be cleared fairly quickly and easy. So if you wanted to extend this and have it more of a sort of industrial estate type thing, you can. So we come all the way around, all the way down to here. So this plot here, 17, which runs right around the back, 55 grand, not too expensive. The little plot around the back of where the animal dealer was, that one's only 15 grand. There are some really small plots actually. Got a little one there, 11, and this one just by the store, it's only 5,200. So you could put a sleep trigger there and you could simulate running the store, or like I say, the choice is yours. It gives you a lot of option to do whatever you like. So I know I've said that a lot, but it's kind of obvious, isn't it? But so from here we're going to head back. This is the main road that I mentioned sort of at the start, which goes from east to west or west to east, whichever way you want to look at it. And what we're going to do is head down to the plot of land placeables point that you start with on New Farmer, which has got a shed and the fields that we start with. The thing with this as well, this is one of those ones, if you had open pastures, then there's a few different modders that have done open pastures, and you put them in the middle of the fields, like, you know, by 3 or 4 fields, you could simulate moving your animals. It's a pit, like I say, it's a pity we can't do it where you've got gateways that you can open, kind of like collecting them with a vehicle, where they will walk between kind of thing. But you can simulate that, moving your animals on from field to field. So when they've eaten the grass, you move on to the next pasture, then the next pasture. But you could do that on here. You could have multiple pastures, and you could have them on there for a little while, then move into the next one. I know they don't technically eat the grass, not on console, but you could simulate that. This is the sort of map that would work perfectly on. It reminds me very much of, is it Greenlands? Is it Greenlands by Peter 716? It's got that kind of feel to it. So coming up on the right, we've got a little roadway which will take us down. Just here. So these are the fields we start with on New Farmer, with the placeables area here. Newer little shed to the side there, older shed there, but again you could simulate maybe that being removed, taken down. You could put a new one on, or you could utilise it until whatever you want to do. Space for silo. You could also then simulate doing some forestry and then building a cabin or get a house built or a farmhouse, whatever you want to do. Like I said before, whatever you want to do. There are so many mods out there with cement factories and all that kind of stuff that people say, oh, it's not farming. It's not. But if you want to go down a storytelling route and you wanted to build a farmhouse, you could do all sorts of really cool stuff, you know. From here, we're just going to cut. We're going to do a quick jink right left, which will take us up past a little pond, water source, and then actually takes up and joins us onto the other track that runs across the map, across the middle. And if we follow that, that will take us back over towards where we started at the vehicle shop. Lovely little spot for camping. Set yourself up a campground. There's plenty of modded tents and things. That'd be cool. And that's the map. Greenhills Estate by Gportal. I'm looking down the instructions and stuff, and I don't think I've missed anything. I think a part of the update has been changes to custom lighting. More fields have been added, so there's 76 buyable farmlands. Lowered the cost of farmland, redesigned PDA, map borders, starting vehicles have changed. Like I say, I don't know because this is all I've known of it. This is all I've seen of it. Yeah, new sawmill with new products, which we've seen. New fences and gates added to the build mode. All fences, gates and hedgerows within the map can be removed in the build mode, which we've seen. So this track will take us back over, and you can just see over there the farmers market, sell points and the vehicle store. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. As always, thanks for watching.